Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers, geezers, geeks, mermaids, car drivers, bike riders, zombie apocalypse smashers, fat bastards, and gingers alike. It's this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast. And as you can hear from his wheezy laugh, we've got Keith. Say hello, Keith.
I'm not ginger. I
didn't say you were ginger. I just said you had a wheezy laugh.
Hello.
And we've got Nigel. Say hello, Nigel.
Hello, Nigel.
All right, so where have you been putting your fishy fingers this week? It's a running gag.
Yes.
Nigel tried to spoil the illusion of where fish fingers come from. I think they get fished out of the sea. Nigel was trying to say otherwise.
Okay. Yeah, you know those deep fat fryer things where you just sort of scoop. That's how you get them.
Ah,
you just fish them out like that, and then you straight into the fryer.
Oh, okay.
And thus extends my knowledge
of the old deep fat fryer. Okay. All right. So we got on this week's show. We've got we get to talk about my favourite, which is celebrity bottoms. Then we're going to talk about Tom Hardy. Is he double dipping in his next film? And then there's John Boyega having a moan. JJ Abrams, please fucking stop. And then we've got some PS5 bits to spooch over, which me and Keith already talked about. But I imagine Keith can't remember because Keith can't remember anything. Crysis is being remastered. We've got the Play at Home initiative, something stupid that Keith's done. I want to talk about Days Gone. And we'll go from there. So let's talk about our first one. So this is Daryl Hannah's arse. So Disney is a little censorious, and I don't think they should be as censorious as they are.
A prude?
Prude. Oh God, it's like dealing with like old people. We've got Daryl Hannah, and Daryl Hannah was a bit of a sex symbol, a bit of a babe back in the 80s, along with Tom Hanks having a productive film career, rather than playing crazy old people who either do something with jets, be it crash them or flip them over and land them in the Hudson. So Disney, in their infinite wisdom, decided to censor Daryl Hannah's arse from Splash. The film was done by Touchstone's Pictures, and it was aimed more towards an adult audience because it was more of a kind of fantasy romance. They decided to remove her ass, and the CGI for it is fucking terrible because what they've done is they've got her hair, and her hair is going down her back and then round her bum, and the simulation for hair is fucking terrible.
Do you know what they've used?
What have they used?
I think they've used, you know, when they create a dog hair animation, I think they've used that same CGI, but just stuck it to her ass.
it was. Yeah. I seem to remember Splash being a 12, which you don't get in the States, but in the UK you used to get 12 certificates because of that scene. Because I remember hiring that video, and I remember that was one of the first films that kind of gave me a strange feeling. And it was that shot. I was very young when I saw it. I mean, I must have been about 9 or 10. But I remember liking that film a lot. It was quite a nice bum.
Yeah. What was it? Wilma Deering for me. Buck Rogers.
I see. I think I was a bit young when Buck Rogers was on, and I don't remember. But I remember getting a stirring, should we say, over Daryl Hannah. I do remember that. And I think that's one of the first sort of memories. But having watched Buck Rogers again, I know what you're saying.
Yes. That was one that made me go, ooh, really? Nice. We've dropped into fucking Purdy mode like we always did, like we did last week. But so they've censored her ass. It's not the only thing they've censored. Apparently, they removed a scene from the end of Toy Story 2 where Stinky Pete, the bad guy from the second one, is in his box with 2 Barbie dolls. Yeah, which was fine at the time.
Didn't he have his arms around him or something?
No. I think they were in there. It was like, ooh, I wonder what we could get up to. And then there's the Lilo and
Yeah,
Stitch thing that we talked about with them removing the tumble dryer and replacing it with a table and a pizza box. It looks fucking weird. So yeah, it's I do find it strange that they're going through and censoring things, and it's a bit worrying because they've got control of films like Predator and Alien and Aliens and quite a lot of stuff I like. And could you imagine them removing Yippee-ki-yay motherfucker from Die Hard?
They're not putting those type of movies on Disney Plus, are they?
Yeah, I know.
You know the bit in Die Hard where he's climbed out the vents and he comes out into like the service area and there's a calendar of girls and he puts his hand on and goes, "Oh, girls." They'll censor that. He won't do that.
But I mean, I don't agree with it. But Disney Plus is very much marketed at families, so I can't see them putting. I know they own Aliens and stuff like that, but I think that's more going to be on like things like Hulu and stuff like that. Which
you
Disney
said it right, Hulu. Well done. Give that man biscuit.
Disney now own the. It only took a couple of beers. Disney now own. I think the controlling share of Hulu, so they could use that as their sort of more adult catalog thing. But I can't see them putting. But Splash 2 was a kids movie, but Splash 1 is arguably not. It's more. There is some slightly more adult humor in it. But then you've got adult jokes in Toy Story and a lot of the Pixar movies. You go back and watch those movies. There's a lot of innuendo in there for the little kids would not get, but adults do.
Yeah, it's just I just find it's not the movies. It's the fact that they're changing them, and it's a little worrying. It kind of reminds me of it's a mixture of 1984 and Brazil, where they're sitting there and re-editing history to match, rather than just leaving it the fuck alone, which they should do. It's bad enough that George Lucas did all those changes in Star Wars. The difference was is George Lucas thought he was improving that stuff, but these things, this feels like censorship. If it's not, if
it is censorship.
Pardon?
It is censorship. I mean, the Barbie Girls thing is so that the Twitterati don't start up or go, you know, and that kind of bullshit about, you know, you get the feminazis on Twitter. But the censoring of Daryl Hannah's bum, it's just a bum. Most kids see bums, for God's sake. It's not like she's got a frock me bits out and stuff like that, is it? I mean, it's just a bum, for sake.
Yes.
But I do agree with you. That it is censorship. It's blatant censorship.
Yeah.
And it's just stupid. It's dumb.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's go to the comments. So, Nigel, you can go through the comments for this one.
Just a quick hello to a few people who are watching, who have messaged us anyway. David, again, hello. Yeah, she was great in Kill Bill. I do like her character in Kill Bill. And hello to Gordon. You've been told, Gareth. You've been told. Watch the old people comment.
I think we should show people this comment. I think you should show people. Yeah. Don't give you slap, mate.
He'll give you a slap.
I'd like to
and then
see
probably
you
put
try.
a beer in your hand, but yeah.
I'd like to see you try, considering we've been social distancing for God knows how long.
This fucking hand will come in from the side.
The window's closed. I'm fine. Look, you can't get through the window. I know you try.
Your dad never discovers drones, because if he does, you are screwed.
You'll just start dropping shit on your head.
Okay.
David, that is mermaid thing. Yeah, she's a mermaid. But they're trying to remove the mermaidy bit of her arse, I suppose.
Yeah, because when she gets on the beach, she obviously uses her fishtail and legs appear. So she also gets quite a nice bum.
Anyway, it's wrong, whatever it is. It's
wrong.
that simple. It's wrong. It shouldn't be done.
Yeah.
Leave it the way it was. Okay, so let's move on to one of my brother's favourites. I think it's Geezer rating of like 8 out of 10. But it's interesting. Yeah, Tom Hardy. Now, I thought originally that this was going to be like a biopic, a kind of Capone, Peter Capaldi, yeah, notorious gangster Peter Capaldi, notorious gangster, fucking Capone. So it's being directed by Josh Trank, who was famous for Fan4tastic. and we've got Tom Hardy in it, and I'm just wondering if he's going to double dip. Now it's weird because this film's not, as I said, not about Al Capone's kind of rise and fall from grace. This is about Al Capone's hidden money they had. So he had a load of money because he was going crazy because he was infected with syphilis and it was causing dementia. And he buried a load of cash out in the middle of nowhere.
But it did cause dementia, but he wasn't as crazy as he made out to be. Did he not use that to get out of jail?
I don't know, because the syphilis killed him in the end.
Oh yeah, but I mean, Tom Hardy's like, he just wants to play all the world's most famous gangsters, doesn't he? I mean, he's played both of the
Craze fucking brothers, not sisters. The fucking Cray sisters.
He's played the Cray sisters, yeah.
He played the Cray sisters. My God.
And now he's playing Capone. Capone. I like the look of this trailer. I had no idea about this. Didn't even know it existed. I'm already sold on it. But then I like Tom Hardy. So
it's weird when you look into Capone's history and you hear the thing about this. He hated being called Scarface. That was the one thing he really hated. If you look at the pictures of him, it always is turning his non-scarred face to the camera so he'd be seen. He was a lot more involved in the community, kind of like not El Chapo. Who's the Pablo Escobar? So he was more involved in it. Apparently, he's responsible for putting due dates on milk because one of his friends had died because they drank off milk. So he's responsible for petitioning the government for putting due dates on milk. Bet you never knew that.
No, I didn't.
So, see, sometimes bad people do good things.
It does look good though. It does. As I said, I like Tom Hardy. He's meant to be a really good guy in real life as well.
Yes,
he's meant to be genuinely a nice bloke, but he's a fantastic actor. But yeah, I'm going to go and see this if it comes out here.
Have you ever watched
it? It looks good.
Have you ever watched Bronson?
Yes,
I love Bronson. Bronson, he is absolutely.
Bronson was the movie you made me watch it because you went, "This is the same guy as in Nemesis," and I wouldn't believe you until you showed me the credits on both films. I'm going, but he's a weed in Nemesis, and in this he's like fucking. You're going to show me the film.
I just that Bronson's absolutely mad. The bit where he covers himself in like goose fat, and then gets he gets naked, covers himself in goose fat, and then yells for the guards to come and fucking pin him down. This is a guy who went in prison for like a 5-year sentence and remained there for like 40 fucking years. But
Bronson was yeah,
it was. So was Capone. I don't know if they'll go into his backstory about all the massacre and whatnot, because that was fucking sneaky. Where he lured a rival gang in, some Irish guys. He lured them into an area, dressed as coppers, shot them, and then exited as coppers. So no one thought the police had a gunfight and fucked off. So he got away with that. Well, we got away with it at that point in time.
There was some scenes in the trailer where he seemed to be playing a younger version of Capone. So I think they might get some flashbacks to when he was, at his height.
Yeah.
There are scenes in that trailer where he's got a scar and where he doesn't have a scar. So you might be right.
Yeah.
From what I saw there.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if they show you how he gets a scar.
Okay.
It was his uncle, wasn't it? Maybe not. I don't know.
Anyway, Siri, moving to the comments.
Yeah, I agree with David. Tom Hardy was awesome as Bane and Venom. I think he's a great actor, to be fair. Alex is in the house.
Hello, Al.
He hid the money, apparently.
I'm sure he hid money. I just don't know where.
It was the Foundation for Goodies. Do you know what that means?
No idea. It must be a film or something. Goodies.
Maybe. David agrees about the Cray sisters, of course. He'd play both, and he'd be amazing at it.
David, is that David or Tom Hardy? Because I'd love to watch David do it, but also like to watch Tom Hardy do it too, because that'd be fucking hilarious.
It'd be like twins, wouldn't it? But
Oh, the
David and
Goonies.
Tom Hardy, like, yeah. Oh, Goonies,
Yes,
not
Goonies.
Goonies.
Thanks, Alex.
That was
Yeah,
it.
there you go, Goonies.
Yeah. Anyway, he does.
He needs the sour milk to keep strong.
Yes, he does. So yeah, Capone, I think looks interesting.
Does look interesting.
Does. Fucking autocorrect. He must be doing it watching on his phone. All right, so the next one we're moving on to is John Boyega. It's not much of a story, I'll be frank with you. I was going to cover some other bits from the making of Dune, but there's a bit thin on the ground, and I reckon a lot of stuff will come out. So John Boyega's looked at his fellow star Oscar Isaac and saw his costume for Dune, which is that. Which actually looks pretty cool for a sci-fi costume. Wouldn't wear it to the supermarket, even with the current situation. I don't think the mask would cover the beard, be it mine or Oscar's. But he also tweeted some other bits in regards to it too, because I think he was like kind of, hang on a second, it was, what was it? Why did The Force Awakens, did we not get anything that good in Star Wars, I think he put. Now I can understand why he's a bit upset, but the Dune thing's filming, and I'm wondering if it's going to be any good. I'm a bit worried because they hired, what's her first, Zendaya or whatever her name was, who was in Spider-Man: Homecoming and Far From Home. Spider-Man?
What? Why are you worried about her? Because I haven't heard. Has she been woking it up? Because I haven't heard anything.
Did you not watch the 2 Spider-Man films? She was the most obnoxious character, or charisma void, I would describe her as. She was a little bit.
I don't have that problem with her, but okay. She was in that. Go on.
It's ironic because they were expecting to have a ginger character in place. She's replaced the ginger character, apparently. It's another ginger person denied a role in this piece of world.
I know they've gender swapped a character in the new movie. I know that, and so everybody's started going, "Oh god, it's going to be woke." It might be, but it's undeniable that it's got a hell of a cast. I mean, there is a lot of actors in this. Alex, I'm sorry, I've got to respond to this. Fuck off.
No, you wait until the end.
No, I'm not letting that one slip.
It goes like this. We've got Dune. Have you read the book to Dune? I've seen the David Lynch film with Patrick Stewart and Carl McLachlan in, which was good.
I actually prefer the book.
And I watched the sci-fi.
The film is good.
It's a bit moody.
Yes.
It does remind me of it reminds me of Warhammer 40k a bit, with a mood level in it.
I don't know much about Dune, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I did a nice RPG, RTS back in the early 90s.
It's kind of classic sci-fi, but this is not the first time that Boyega's thrown shade at Star Wars. I mean, he was giving it shit when Rise of Skywalker came out because he was pissed that his character didn't get much to do in Rise of Skywalker.
Well, it was, yes. Well, I can imagine he's a bit pissed. He's probably like kind of, if you're doing a second film, can I be in the second film? It's weird because I think Dune can be a big budget thing, but I don't think it'll be a success. I think it will suffer from like the first film did, because the first film had Sting in it too. Bloody hell!
Yeah, it did.
And that was quite good. And then they did a TV series. I'm trying to remember the TV series.
And they're meant to be doing a TV series from this. So the guy that's directing or writing this, anyway, some of the people that are involved in making this film are also doing a TV series based on some women in this. So there is, again, another sign that it could be going woke. There's some female characters in it. If you've never read the book, you won't know it, but it's kind of like a faction, and that's what the TV series is going to be based on. So there is
more vag. Just vag for everything. I can't wait for them to do Dexter with vag, and B5 where it's completely women. And then
you can't. B5 was so progressive, it's ridiculous.
It wasn't that progressive. It was humanist. I think the term is, which is the not progressive. It's
Real.
the sensible approach to that thing.
Yeah.
They leave certain things. They go, we're not too sure about this. We'll leave this shit over here. I think it's gonna. I think it's gonna bomb. And I think it's gonna be woke. I really do. I think this is the thing you need to do. Why have you swapped the character out? That's the question. Ask that question. Why have you swapped the character out? Is that actor an Oscar-winning actor? Is the next question.
No, I can look up the story.
No, they're not. The reason they're not. The reason they're doing it is because they're going out their way to do it. Yeah, because otherwise you just stick to what the characters are. And the other thing too is the character. They say, the character should be darker skinned. Yeah, they're more Arabic than they are kind of African. Because it's kind of deserty, and you can't expect people from like the deserty places to be like represented. So I think it's going to be a fucking disaster. But I think another thing's going to be a bigger disaster. Oh, hang on, shit! Nigel, you want to do the comments?
Dave will know this. The character that they've read thing is Dr. Leto, Liet, L-I-E-T, Keynes, K-Y-N-E-S. And it's he was a man in the books and in the first film, and is now going to be played by a woman, Sharon Duncan Brewster. She was in Rogue One.
She a woman of color. I always have fucking hate saying.
I think so. Yes.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, it looks it. Yeah, she is.
Can't blame her for taking the part. But they've changed it for a reason. And you have to ask that question every time they do this. Why are you changing it? Now, if you're getting a person in who's a really good actor and they're award winning and they've been on maybe even for the fucking flavor of the month, yeah, it makes sense. But when it's not, then you're sending a message. And don't give me that bubble shit, because the only way you can do that is merit.
It's quite a prominent character. This is coming back to me because it's been years since I've read this. It's years since I've seen the film. The Swedish guy that died recently, that was in the first of the new Star Wars trilogy at the beginning, the one that they meet on the desert planet right at the start and gets blown away quite quickly. It's his character in the original Dune movie. And you're right, it's been replaced by a black woman. Yeah.
Yes. Because
Max von Sydow.
Max, yeah. Oh, I know, yes.
Yeah. Recently died. But he was in Dune. So they've replaced his character with a woman of color. Because it probably is going to be woke, which means that it will probably fail because Hollywood lives in a bubble and thinks that woke is so great. Trouble is that people that fucking pay to go and see these films don't think same as you guys. No. And it's been 2 years and yet you're still not learning.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So the comments, which we'd started before Keith chimed in, just to bring back something here, we had this
soy milk. Yes.
Yeah. Keith needs to drink soy milk. So
he needs phytoestrogen.
Of course, he's a soy boy. Anyway, it's agreed. He's a giant soy boy. Anyway, sorry, Keith. No recourse. So yes, you are right, Alex. Keith has retired from working on Star Wars as a stunt double for Jabba. You are correct. He's emigrated to Thailand and living up the large lie.
He's got himself a barge and everything. He's even got himself a little dog that laughs at people like this.
Yeah, he's trained it well. Yeah. Yeah. So moving on back, David has said that the Dune movie was good, the original one, and the book. So I don't remember the original Dune movie, and he thinks that a remake could work if they don't fuck it up, of course. Not this person who.
Zendaya, they cast her as MJ.
That was Zendaya.
Ah, right, okay, right, okay. Yeah, apparently we are to watch the version with Sting in it. It stays true to the original.
It does, but it cuts out quite because the book's quite long. So
okay.
Yeah, it does. It does stay towards the book. He's right there.
Yeah. And maybe a Dune remake would work. And to top it off, Alex says, "Get woke, go broke," which is true of everything. True.
All right. So, which one of you guys is? Which one of you guys has heard of Justice League Dark?
Who?
Me, I've got some of them.
Have you got some of them?
Mm-hmm.
So, J.J. Abrams is now, after ruining Star Trek and Star Wars, now wants to fucking finish off the DC EU.
Gaff, if it's anything like any other J.J. Abrams TV series, first season will be amazing. Then it'll be shit.
No, I don't think he can even do amazing at the moment. I just think he can just do shit because you'll look at everything and you'll go, that's not going anywhere. That's never going to be answered. That thing will never be resolved. They'll move on from that. Oh, that was kind of spectacular, but it doesn't really mean anything because they're never going to kill any characters off. And because you know that now, it doesn't work as well, does it?
Well,
yeah, this is the truth. The full stop.
I think anything J.J. Abrams produces or gets involved in, the first season is usually good. I mean, Lost is the staple, but Westworld too. First season of Westworld is amazing.
Second, Lost. That wasn't him though. That was the other Nolan.
It was J.J. Abrams behind Lost. Bad
he
Robot.
Involved in the second series onwards, and you can see the fact they got stuck in the second series onwards because the other guy was just left to it. I'm busy doing Star Wars and other stuff at the moment. You just get on with it, and he went all right. So he let him get on with it, and then. Westworld's doing really well. I need to take some of that credit for myself. Let me get involved and ruin the fucking thing. So yes, that's it. But you've got Justice League Dark, and it's pretty much led by John Constantine, if I remember correctly. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah.
So it's led by John.
The comics I had was
and Batman gets involved every so often, doesn't he? But
yes, well they all do. They all have moments. Even Superman gets involved at one point.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, they've got this, and it's usually something like I was going to say Dormammu, Moloch, or whatever the bad guys that fucking Constantine fights. Have usually got something to do with it. But it's going to be shit. Sorry. This is another thing where you just go, oh fuck! Can you just leave this shit alone? I don't know why people keep employing it. I know why. Actually, no, I know why people are employing it because the execs and all the people at the top goes, go and make this film. It must feature a polar bear and a robotic spider. And he goes, yeah, all right. And then he puts it in, and he turns around and says, look, I did what you asked for. Now fucking pay me, rather than creative. So hack maybe the best term for JJ.
You see. I still think the first Star Trek remake was okay.
No, shit.
I know there's a lot of. I know people think it's good, but I enjoyed it.
Especially the fact that it links back to Star Trek Picard. It's even more shit.
Yeah. I know. It's been ruined since. It's been ruined retrospectively.
It was ruined that time. As I said to you when we first talked about it, that's not Star Trek.
I liked it. And I'm sorry. I do. I think I like Chris. I like the cast. I thought the cast was reasonably good. Some of them were miscast.
I'll give you the cast, but everything else.
I liked Carl Oberher and what's his face as Spock, and Chris Pine as Kirk. I thought that worked. And I kind of liked the first movie. I have slowly been switched off J.J. Abrams as time has moved on.
Join me. Join me.
I don't think Rise of Skywalker was his fault.
It was his fault.
But having
all he had to do is turn around and say, "No, I'm doing it this way. You fucked it up by putting that moron in for the second film, and now I'm fixing your mess. Let me do my work. That's what you paid me for." And pull the whole fucking Censors God of War, God of War, fucking what is it? War. What's the book he wrote? Censors wrote a famous book, Art of War. Yeah, he turns around. Yeah, he goes, "You set me off. I'm doing it. I'm going to finish it off now." Yeah.
Oh,
So-
he can never finish anything. He certainly can't finish anything. God knows what his wife must think of him. But
the most disappointing sex
He can't
person
act
ever.
too early and then tries to drag it out a little bit with shit.
But he Rise of Skywalker wasn't apparently his fault. But I have to say,
Of course he's going to
that Colin.
Keith, of course he's going to say that. He put his name against
Yeah,
it.
but no, but there were
If he-
rumours of him getting
if he
shitty on
wasn't
set, and I think
happy-
those are true.
If he wasn't happy, he should have just said, "No, I will walk
No,
away."
but no, you can't. That doesn't work like that in Hollywood. And
It
he
does.
has, he's managed to get 500 million quid out of Warner Brothers. So, I mean, he's made for himself. But having said all of that, have you guys seen the leaked script that Colin Trevorrow was going to do? Because that actually
Hang on a
sounded
second.
good.
Hold on a second. Have you read the leaked script from the original thing of Star Trek?
Yes, I've got the comics.
No, the script, the actual shooting script.
No.
It's full of swear words.
Oh, okay.
It's like Kirk exits the fucking car. He has a pissed off look on his face, and it's written like an angsty teenager has written it. And I'm just like, I wonder. Well, he just doesn't know how space works. Is the first thing. Just
Yeah, but look, you've gone so off Star Wars now. You're going to criticize the whole thing, and it doesn't matter. But
I've
Colin
been off Star
Trevorrow's
Wars
Duel
since
of Fate
fucking
script.
Revenge of the Sith.
No, you haven't, because you like Rebels, and you introduced me to Rebels. And
I like
is
Rebels,
awesome.
but that's because Rebels was an outlier. It's
Rebels
shit.
is good.
All right, let's go through the comments, and we'll move on to something a bit more exciting. It's time to make Keith spooge. Nigel's look on his face. Keith spooge.
Right. Sorry, my internet's gone a bit screw. Everything's gone a bit robotic. Hopefully, it picks back up.
Okay.
Right. So where were we? Big question here, lads. Why is J.J. Abrams getting so much work if he's so shit?
I think it's because he's likable. Yeah, but he's good at sucking cock. But he is supposedly meant to be quite a likable and agreeable guy, and nice to work with. Hence, what these rumors behind Rise of Skywalker, I think, were true because the studio was getting too involved in it. But he is meant to be a likable guy. Most people Hollywood people spooge all the time about the people they work with, but they seem to be a bit more sincere when it comes to Abrams, that he's meant to be a nice guy.
So he's a bit of a yes man to the big guys. I would say. That's why he gets employed.
He does like to clean arse cracks quite a bit, but I listened to a few podcasts and I listened to a lot of people that have worked with him, and you can tell when these people have been sincere, and they all say he's a nice bloke.
Okay. David is not a Star Trek fan, but the remake with Chris Pine was actually a good movie, and he didn't see the second one with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay.
Is that the Khan one?
Yes, that's the common one. I like that one, but I only liked it because of Benedict Cumberbatch in it. That was it.
And did they shout?
It was the shallowest reason for liking a film ever.
You're a Cumberbatch. You'd suck his dick given half a chance.
Anyway,
you'd have to be in front of him for that.
What do you call it? I prefer. I'm a Henry Cavill at the moment. I'm Team Cavill.
Team Cavill. Yes, because he's come out as a ginormous nerd, hasn't he? And,
yes.
He's endeared himself with a lot of people. Rise of Skywalker was a combination of factors. It's still much better than The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
No, it's not. In a film where they forget how to go fucking up. And I mean...
No, it's better than The Last Jedi. It's better than The Last Jedi. It is. It is better than that. It's still a fucking mess.
No, I think it's equally as bad as The Last Jedi. I think it's equally as bad as Last Jedi. The Last Jedi ruined characters. This ruined the fucking logic of the universe.
Which one was the middle film?
Jedi. Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi was
Last Jedi wasn't. Look, you can say what you like about Abrams, but he's meant to be a nice bloke. Ryan Johnson is just a cunt. I'm sorry, but he is. He is a nasty, horrible twat, and you know that because of the way he responds to people on Twitter and the language that he uses. He's an arrogant tosspot, and therefore, Last Jedi is far worse because it's made by an arrogant dick. And whereas Rise of Skywalker is a colossal fuck up. But it's not the colossal fuck you that is Last Jedi.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't like the middle film. I thought the third film had too much to do to redeem its legacy, as it were, for the trio. It too far gone.
Kathleen Kennedy, no offense, is a big pussy. She should have let Coven his movie because that would have done a hell of a lot to redeem. Because the script is pretty good. And had they made that would have worked. But no, they wanted to bring back the Emperor, even though it made no fucking sense. And try and put loads of member berries in it, and it doesn't work. But it is, I agree with Dave completely. It is better than
I would have loved it if the twist would have been that Emperor Palpatine that you thought you saw with Emperor Palpatine turns around and goes, "No, I'm Darth Plagueis," because Palpatine was like my fucking twin brother or something. And he's like, "Shit, twins running something exciting." Anyway, right? Can we go on to something a bit more interesting now? Because I've got some stuff here that Keith and I were talking about. Just gonna make sure I get in the right order. Okay, so people have been leaking their what they believe the PS5 will look like. I'm not going to start with the cool one first, but I'm going to look at some of the other ones. So people have been like, kind of, oh, this is what we think the console will look like based on the controller.
Low dropping about,
nice.
Isn't it?
It does look nice.
It's in keeping with that controller that we've seen.
Yeah, that's what everyone's done. They've based it on the controller that they've seen, and we've got that one, and then we've got the one that I think is probably closer to what I think the finished product will look like.
That doesn't look as cool.
No, and that's probably why it's correct.
Yeah.
Sony don't always make boring looking consoles. I mean, PS3 was not a boring looking console. PS2 was definitely not a boring looking console.
I know it was a boring looking console because they based the Xbox One X off of it.
PS4 White Edition was a damn good looking console.
Yeah, for you white supremacist your PS thingy owners. But this guy, I can't remember his bloody name now. I can't see it because the notes covered up by the video. Came up with like a concept for it. I think that this is pretty close to what we're going to get. It is literally going to be like I will describe it as it'll be a single PCB sandwich between two bits of plastic with a fan on the bottom and the hard disk on the top, along with the disk drive bay. That's what it's going to be. As
long as the fan doesn't go mental like the fan does on mine.
See, whether you like it or not, Keith, that was one thing that was drove Mark Cerny crazy, and he wanted to stop that from happening. And when a developer turns around and goes, you know what, I don't like the fan either, we're going to try our best to make sure that fan doesn't fucking spool up to like 1,000 miles an hour, because he'd all heard the jet memes that have come out.
Yeah, it's only got one speed from the scene. It's not progressive as to how hot the console is to how fast the fan goes. It's literally on or off, and it's on at full fucking speed. And it's sometimes louder than the game that you're playing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I hope they fix that at least, because then if you're trying to say you wake up early in the morning and you don't want to wake anyone up, you turn the console on, put your headphones in, play a game, you can hear the fan upstairs. It's so fucking loud. But you've got your headphones in so nobody can hear the game, but the fan noise wakes people up. So they've got to sort it.
I don't have to worry about that because I've got a Slim, and the Slim doesn't make any of that noise and uses less power. But I think that
I've got a Pro, so it's ridiculous.
I think
That
it
last
looks
one
cool.
does look nice.
That last
That
one looked
last one.
nice.
Yeah, I like the first one and the last one. To be
I'll be
frank.
interested to start seeing some renders or guesses on how the Xbox X looks like. Have they already
You've seen it?
shown
Yeah,
it?
it's a square bin.
Oh,
It is literally a bin.
Oh, is
It
that
looks like
it?
a bin.
I've seen that.
Oh,
Is
you
that
did, yeah.
That's it. They spent a.
what?
Yes, yes, it's going to be like that because we were
I
complaining.
just thought that was someone's mock-up.
No,
That's
that's the
official, is it?
actual console. Yeah.
Do you know what? I could have Googled it to look at it. I just didn't bother. Yeah, no. How? Oh, Microsoft, come on, make it look cool.
I'm sure Sony will make theirs look cooler. I'm sorry, and I know they are because they're waiting. They let Microsoft go first and went, really?
I don't want a mini trash can look.
It's a bin. It looks like a bin. It looks like a dehumidifier. That's what it looks.
Flowers in it. It's a bit of a square vase.
Yes.
Oh, I'm really disappointed. But if I had both, I could have one then to the side of the TV cabinet, and that'll be the Xbox One, and then one inside the cabinet, and then that'll be the PlayStation. So
Just stick it down the side of your TV and tell everybody it's the sub.
Well, I was going to
yeah,
say,
I've got a sub there. So
on the bright side,
Yeah,
during
keep
winter, during the winter months, you can use the warm up the house.
oh yeah.
That Xbox, because of the way it's geared up, will fucking heat a room. But hey ho.
Yeah, the previous one had heating issues, I think, didn't it? They took the. I know the 360 had heating issues for sure because I had a 360 and that had the red ring.
Oh
Just as
god, yeah.
And that's
sounds like
because
a
they had
fucking
an
hair
internal
dryer.
power brick, didn't it? But then Xbox One, they've moved it to the external, didn't they? On that power bit, they've moved it external.
No, they both had power bricks.
Did they?
Yes, they both had power bricks. I think I still got a 360 power brick in my things over there.
Well, I hope they fix that anyway because that was an ongoing issue with their consoles.
Yeah, it was a bit sucky. What was it? Crysis.
Yeah,
Crysis. The joke, will it run Crysis?
Shall we just go through the comments?
Oh,
before
sorry.
we-
Yes.
what comments?
Because Dave's made a few comments, and I just wanted to.
Oh.
So Dave says that just throwing it out there, The Force Awakens was the best of the new canon trilogy. Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
No.
Out of the three,
Out of the three,
all equally shite.
no, they're not.
All equally shite.
I agree. I do prefer The Force Awakens out of the three. Then it's going to be the last one. Then it'll be the middle one.
He's right
Because
there.
I'll tell you what, because that's the only one I can remember the name of, and so the other two I barely remember which one's which, because they're both almost as shite as each other because of the middle one fucking everything up.
You like Han Solo, don't you, Keith?
I
You like Han
watched it
Solo?
again recently.
You like Han Solo, don't you?
Everybody likes a
Han
Han Solo.
The long and the short of it is they ruined Han Solo in that film. They turned him to a deadbeat dad and threw him off a cliff by his emo son.
I haven't seen it.
They copied all the other films. It's just as fucking bad. In different ways.
I think Solo. Go and watch it again. I think it's better than you think it is.
Oh, well, the Han Solo. Hang on, the Han Solo, the movie.
Yes.
Oh, I watched that. Oh my God, is that trash? The first fucking 20 minutes of it, I thought I was watching this TV series from the 1980s done by the BBC because it looked fucking garbage. It really did. Oh, we got a worm that's afraid of fucking light. Double fucking glazing, love. Or no windows. Simple. Yeah? Han Solo in this bit, just no. Oh, no.
I haven't seen it.
Shit.
I haven't gone out of my way. If it comes on TV, I'll.
It
watch
was
I'm not paying.
There was a guy called Stone Fox Media, and he was used to make jokes about console resolutions, and when they weren't very good, they were always ashy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole fucking first act is ashy. Yeah, just to cover up. You can't see anything that's fucking going on. The guy can't act. What's a mush? What's a mush from Game of Thrones? I'm sorry, I don't like Game of Thrones, and she's probably one of the reasons Danny was shit in fucking thingy. I'm sorry, I couldn't watch it. I struggled. It was shit. I have watched shit things. I go out my way to watch shit movies because sometimes they are fucking hilarious and that completely unintentionally. But this was just bad. Yeah, this is the worst thing that Ron Howard has ever touched. And I wish they would have made it into a fucking comedy. It would have been hilarious. Seriously, the bit where he's still in the speeder and he's driving it around like he's fucking in what do you call it? Fast and the Furious. That was just obnoxious. I'm just like, oh my god, please! Isn't a guy on a turret somewhere that can just shoot him? No, is there a droid that could catch him? You got a K2SO enforcement droid. Maybe that could do it. No, Solo was shit. And anyone who thinks otherwise, I would check for concussion. Keith, have you had concussion recently?
I don't think it. I know what you're saying, but I don't think it's as bad as, and I think it suffered from the Last Jedi-itis a bit. And there are certain scenes in it that I quite enjoy. The thing that annoys me about it is,
tell me what you enjoyed. Tell me the first third of that film.
Like seeing Darth Maul back. That was cool.
Darth Maul. Oh my god.
That was cool.
That was cool. No, that's member berries. Member Darth Maul.
Yes. It was member berries, but there were certain things I kind of like seeing a sleek looking Millennium Falcon, and I know what you're going to say. But there were things that I did enjoy about it. But I do see where you're coming from.
Let's go on to Crysis, Nigel.
Yeah, out of that lot, the only the only recent films that they've put out that I really enjoyed was Rogue One. And on that, I'd like to move on to video games.
Yes.
Video games again.
Yes. Do you remember Crysis? Remember the meme?
Yes.
It can very well compute my coordinates to Jupiter and back again, but will it run Crysis? It can run a time machine, but will it run Crysis? It's running the world's economy. That's great, but will it run Crysis? Apparently, they're remastering Crysis. The guys at Crytek put out a very, very short teaser, which is practically remastering Crysis. Be excited. And they put it out.
Switch. Is there a Nintendo Switch?
Yes, and on the Nintendo Switch.
I'm going to run on a fucking Switch.
Right. Okay, so what they've planned to do is they're redoing the original single-player campaign. Yeah, and they're going to whack in new high-quality, high-def textures. They're going to improve the art assets. They're going to put in temporal aliasing. They're going to put in screen space directional occlusion, which has something to do with fucking volumetric lighting stroke fog. Voxel-based global illumination.
Is that based on the car?
So voxel, not voxel, voxel, as in vox.
Oh, okay.
All right. Do you state of the art depth
My
of
interest
field?
was peaked and now it's not.
New state of the art depth of field, new light settings, motion blur, parallax occlusion mapping. So that's the skybox, I imagine. Particle effects where applicable, volumetric fog and shafts of light, software-based ray tracing. So the ray tracing will be done by the software. Screen space reflection to deliver a visual upgrade on the classic FPS experience. That's just a fucking word salad of bollocks to the rest of us.
The question is, will it run Crysis? The answer, will it fuck? Nothing.
Hang on a second. Dune runs on the Switch. All right, it uses the Vulkan API and runs on the Switch. And I imagine that the guys at Crysis are probably sitting at home going, "We're bored. What can we do? Yeah, we haven't got time to make a new game. Why don't we redo Crysis so it works on like everything?" And it's going to run on the Switch. Keith, when you run that on your Switch, don't put the Switch down on your lap. Okay,
no, I think it's going to need a fucking ice pack. It's going to need an ice pack and playing right under the fucking aircon.
Yeah, I do remember when that came out. Every benchmark any computer was run to was, what's the FPS that this computer can run Crysis at on highest settings? And some of them can't even get on the highest settings. You know, it was that far in advance of what
Yeah.
computers could run at that time. And still, nowadays, they still use that as a benchmark sometimes for computer specs.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
What FPS can this computer, which is brand new, run Crysis, which is quite old? And it is quite an old game now, isn't it, Crysis?
It is. I love Crysis. I had so much fun with Crysis. I did have to hack the file to give the character double the power to make it more interesting, because I was playing it and it's just like kind of you'd walk 3 places, walk 3 steps, and your fucking invisibility would go. And I'm like, this is shit. I need to do 10. Let me do 10 paces, and then you can cop out.
I didn't enjoy Crysis, to be honest. Not my thing.
I completed that. It was good. It had Claudia Black in it, so which is cool, and that's about it. Okay, let's go through the comments. No, James. That's how Nigel normally looks.
However, I did let him know. Yes, he does. Especially after a drink.
Just be careful, Mr. Playthroughs. Just be careful.
And, just on the previous thing, David said, contradicting the end of episode 1. Yes, fine. It was an issue with Han Solo movie. So I don't know. Not seen it. What do you reckon?
He's right. It does contradict certain things, but it's not good. But it isn't as shit as I don't agree that it's as shit as Gareth makes out. It is.
Sorry. I made a mistake.
Also...
It's shitter. It's shitter. I'm sorry. It's the equivalent of having diarrhea whilst trapped on a Caribbean cruise as you're going between Antigua and Jamaica, and
your comment about it being ash looking in the first act, that's because they're on a kind of volcano planet. There's quite a lot of ash around.
No, we're talking about everything looking ashy.
I know what you mean.
Ashy outside. It was just, what the fuck is this?
I know. I know what you mean.
Stone Fox Media, I think I introduced you to his channel. He looks like God of War, if anything. Dude, isn't he?
He white-faced himself and pretended to be God of War.
And whenever a game or film or TV series or anything looks a little bit ashy, he dusts himself with flour to make himself look ashy. And he's going, "It's fucking ashy!" Brilliant.
Yes.
But he articulates himself so well in that manner, and I do love it.
Yes.
So
okay. What else we got? Yeah, contradiction. Okay.
PlayStation.
I'm trying not to interrupt. All right, but yeah, we've got PlayStation. Good news for all you PlayStation owners. If you're sitting at home and you haven't played Uncharted or Journey, you can pop onto the PlayStation Store, go to Play at Home, and download both of these for free at the moment. Yeah, you can get them. They're free between April 15th and May 5th, so you've got some time. Both are really good games in different ways. The Uncharted collection, that's 3 games that you get. Then they're 3 fucking awesome games.
Which we got last month, if you're a PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, I know, but if you're not and you don't own it,
I read an article actually. There was on Facebook when somebody announced this, they all going, "But we got this last month, and we've had Journey before," and blah, 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 blah. And lots of people being quite ungrateful about it. I can see their point, seeing as we did get it last month if you're a PlayStation Plus owner, but this is open to anybody with a PlayStation. You don't have to have PS Plus. Now, the article said, they did a follow-up article saying just how ungrateful people were that they were giving stuff for free. Even though this was given last month, only 30% of people who have a PlayStation actually have PlayStation Plus. It's not as high as what we imagine. So, yeah, if you've got 100 million out there, only 30 million people have got PlayStation Plus. So the rest of the people haven't got PlayStation Plus, and so therefore get these free games, which is, if you put it in context, is a reasonable gesture.
Yeah.
But people are saying, well, then you're not doing anything for the people who are actually paying you month on month for PlayStation Plus. You should have chosen something different, and then maybe next month, put these on.
Yeah,
as a gesture, or given an extras thing. But hey, it is what it is, and they're decent games. It is 4 games, not 3 or 2, because you get 3 games in the Drake's collection.
The big question is, after the 5th of May, are they going to do it again? I'm hoping they do.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Well, if you're still all on lockdown, they probably will.
It's quite nice of them. Didn't have to do anything like that. I'm trying to think what fucking Microsoft have done. Because I'll be honest with you, the Games Pass has got shit since fucking Corona's been on. Yeah.
Not good games, no.
No new exciting games.
Yeah.
Which is annoying. They took off a couple of the games which I quite liked. Okay. This one is
dedicated to Keith.
Dedicated to Keith. I called this. What did I put in the show notes?
Why is this? Why is this dedicated to me?
All right. Yes. It's called. We'll call it 700. Buys you a set of buys you a decent gaming PC, set of wheels for your Mac Pro, or Keith, you moron.
Because Keith, you love Apple.
You do love Apple.
But we have been on this podcast where I went absolutely bonkers over the fact that they were charging £1,000 for a fucking monitor stand. $700 for a set of wheels. It doesn't surprise me, but anybody that buys them is just bonkers and has got way too much fucking money. And you should actually donate that bloody money to somebody that needs food right now, rather than spending £700 on a fucking pair of wheels.
I bet
they're tiny wheels too.
The thing that gets me is the sheer fucking nerve of it.
Yeah,
it's actually, Gav, it's the sheer fucking hubris.
I have no, and the comment in the PC Gaming Magazine is right. There's no fucking RGB on it, so that's a fucking deal killer. Because if you'd have put it and it had a blue light on it, I know Keith would buy it.
Yeah, that's the kicker.
That is the kicker. Keith would have bought it there.
No, I wouldn't. I think there is some interesting stuff on the Mac Pro, but you could build it yourself for a lot less than Apple are charging. But I did make one comment the other day because this, the guy I used to work for who's moved on to a different department but knows about hardware, sent me this story the other day, and I went, I know, it's ridiculous, but there are a few things I do like about the Mac Pro. And his comment was, you can build it for half the price. I said, you can, but then you have to dick about running Hackintosh on it, because the one thing that Mac Pro does is it runs Final Cut Pro blisteringly fast, and I mean blisteringly fast. And I'm sorry, Final Cut Pro all the way. I mean, I tried going Premiere Pro and it did not work very well for me.
Took my advice.
So yeah, and therefore the Mac Pro is interesting. Is it worth the money? No, but if I was doing a shit ton of video editing, like day in, day out, and that was my job, as a company, I would probably buy one. I wouldn't put it on wheels. It doesn't need to be on wheels. I out of fucking shit, I would not buy the monitor stand. I'd go to a machine workshop and get one made for me, which will probably cost about a fraction of that. But the monitors are fucking incredible.
But this is what gets me, yeah. You have the option to upgrade for $400. Even $400 is still too much. $400 when you get the thingy, when you get it. Even that's still too much.
To put this into perspective, right? The top whack Mac Pro with the screens, the wheels, and the stands and everything, I think it comes in around about $54,000. Right? That's a top whack. That's not that much less than I paid for this house. And I'm like, I would buy a house for that.
Buy a second house for it, rent it out, make some money from it.
And actually, people are banging on about that. Is that you would never actually buy a system that much. The most that you would spend is around about 32, I think, because if you look at all the specs, they sell hardware for very specific tasks. So if you're doing video editing on this, there are certain things you would not pick which whack the price up. So the sort of top whack video editing one is around about 30 something, and it has that afterburner card in it and stuff like that again. But the only way that you could justify this cost is if you're a professional and you're doing this as a, but 690, it is sheer fucking hubris on a level why even Apple released them right now is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can make all the face shields you want in the middle of what's going on at the moment and people being out of work, over 20 million in the US alone. How can you release this? It's hubris on a grand scale. It really is.
It's some things you could get for $700.
I just want to tell you something. I've while you've been chatting about it, Keith, I've just been looking at the Apple Store to see, and it's a desk. It's not a desktop. It's a tower. So for those of you who don't know, the Mac Pro is basically a tower, like you would with your PC case. You'd have a tower system. It's that, and it's got little feet, one in each corner, and they're proposing to replace those little feet with little wheels, so you can wheel it around wherever you want. Why you'd want to do that? No idea. And as Keith says, the base model, the base model is just around $6,000. I'm not in the UK site. $6,000, and I'm looking at these options, and my word, it is ridiculous. Just to upgrade the processor is $7,000. You can upgrade it to $7,000. You can upgrade your hard drive. Sorry, not your hard drive. Your memory to 1.5 terabyte of memory. That's quite cheap actually. When you do that, it's only $25,000. So then you upgrade to two graphics cards for almost $11,000. Then,
but those graphics cards allow you to offset some of your sort of video editing speed. Bearing in mind the top end system can edit, I think it's 6 separate streams of 8K ProRes video. That's ridiculous.
They can pre-install some software for you. Final Cut Pro 10 and Logic Pro 10, and Final Cut Pro is $300 and Logic Pro $200. So all in all, what I'm looking at the moment is a $51,400 for a fucking desktop PC. No,
but Nigel, I have to say something, and I'm sure Gareth will agree with me. Final Cut for £300 is extremely reasonably priced.
Is it?
Yes. When you actually look at what you pay for Premiere Pro, it's £300. You bought it.
I didn't pay £300 for mine. I paid $180. Paid $180.
Did you at the time?
Yeah.
Well, no, it was then you got it on a sale or something, but it's usually £300. But that's extremely well. Bearing in mind, now you pay what is it, £20 a month for Premiere Pro? If you get that app on your own, which you can't because you then need the encoder, you then need the thing, so it's more like £30 a month. And when you add that up over 12 months, Final Cut's extremely well priced.
The Don the Shove guys is I found it for £17 on Amazon.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, I think I'm going to buy it for £17. Given all those features it's got, mate, I could even probably afford the wheels after. It looks like a fucking cheesy burger.
You know those little wheels that you can get on the bottom of your chair? You can just chop some of them off and glue them on, and same result.
You can.
Anyway,
and honestly, the materials that they're using, you can go to a machine workshop and pay half that. If you really want that nicer
Let's
wheel.
move on, guys. Let's move on because I want to talk about Days Gone.
Yeah, you do. You do. You love it.
I love Days Gone. Days Gone's fucking awesome. I've been playing Days Gone. I bought it it was in the sale on the PlayStation Store for like £20. My brother was harping on about it, going, "Oh, you're going to need to play Days Gone. It's like it's a game you need to play after Red Dead Redemption." I was like, "All right, fair enough." Naturally, I played Doom after Red Dead Redemption. Ignored my brother's instructions. I defied him completely. And then I played Days Gone. And now the beginning was clanky as fuck. but when you get into it, dude, it's really good. And I wish they'd make this into a TV series because it would be so much better than The Walking Dead. There are no zombies in it. It looks like there's zombies in it. They're not zombies in it. It's closer. It's closer to 28 days later, where they're infected.
Yeah,
and the virus mutates them into different kind of zombies, and it's great because you go through it and you come across these hordes, and the first time you come across one of these hordes, you're outnumbered like 100 to 1, and you're like, fuck. And it's this giant wave of fucking creatures coming towards you, and you're like, shit, I think I should run. So you leg it naturally, and you pelt through it, and it's like a party piece that it does. But it's the other thing that kind of keeps you engaged with it. It does have this really good story, and you get to interact with these kind of settlement people, like you've got in Walking Dead, where you got like Hilltop and Alexandria and the Sanctuary and whatnot, and you have to go out and burn down the nests because these things fucking nest. And in one of the bits, you're playing the game, and all of a sudden, a fucking helicopter shoots off over the top of your head. But unlike in Walking Dead, where the helicopter comes across, and then it's ignored for 3 seasons until Rick needs an out. You chase the helicopter down, and you find out that a kind of remnant of the government called Nero are still active, and they're still doing stuff. And they're testing the zombies. For some reason, they're still interested in them and the way they're behaving and whatnot. And there's some stories. And one of the stories that kind of really creeped me out is I was following one of these people, and you have to follow them quietly because if the Nero guys see you, they shoot you on sight. So you have to like earwig a conversation. So you've got this biologist and this soldier talking, and she's saying to the soldier, she turns around and goes, "This is really odd. This infected person or zombie, or what you consider it, had come home, put on new clothes and its wristwatch, and left." And you're like, sorry, it knew to come home and get changed because it smelled, put its watch on, and then fuck off out the door. Only for the Nero guys to shoot it and then them to examine it. So these things are like evolving, and you get across, like you've got different types. So you've got like a tank type one, you've got a one that screams, that kind of knocks you out and then summons hundreds of bastards. You've got things called newts that hang up on top of buildings. You've got infected wolves, which are like twice as big as the wolves, and they can keep up with your fucking bike. Yeah, so you're getting chased, your bike's getting chased by a fucking wolf. You have infected bears called ragers. You have bears in general. And that's one another shit your pants moment. It's like you're scoping out a group of like kind of, I don't know, enemy combatants, whatever you want to call them, and you're looking down your sight, and all of a sudden you hear this kind of noise. You look up, and it's a fucking bear. It's like I wasn't expecting to get attacked by a bear, and you're like, kind of shit. So you'll take a bear down, and bears are notorious bullet sponges in real life, let alone in the gaming world. And the story's really engaging. My wife is watching me play it, and she gets freaked out more than me. Because it's like kind of, she's watching me, and it's like, I'm just going to sneak in. I'm going to sneak in here. I'm just going to recover that injector, and I'm going to sneak back out past these 1,500 zombies that are hiding out in this cave, who will react to any sound, So I'm like sneaking along. I get the injector, and I'm walking back past the cave like I'm fucking Goldilocks, And all of a sudden, you see one pop out, his head out, and he's seen me, and he goes, ah! And my wife goes, ah! Like that, and I paused the game and go, "You scared me." The game was fine. I almost shit my pants because of you. It is really good. There's an actor who played in the Star Wars Unleashed games, both of them. Sam Witwer. He played Starkiller, was like the main character, and he plays the main character in this guy called Deacon St. John. And there's 2 other actors, and an actor and an actress who've also been in other things too. Really engaging. There was a bit where I was worried, and it was because I played Red Dead Redemption. And when you get to the end of the Arthur Morgan section of Red Dead Redemption, it plays a song as you ride into camp for the last time. And I was like, I'm going to go across this pass, across this top of this mountain, and it starts playing me a song, and I'm thinking, shit, am I about to die? And it's like, I didn't die, but because of Red Dead Redemption, I thought I was going to get to the other end, get shot, and then play another character for the last part of the game. it is really good. The zombies are evolving. You've got the Nero government faction in there. You've got this militia that are in the south are arming up, ready to try and take back the world. You've got one guy who's trying to keep everyone civilized, like they did in Alexandria before everything went to shit. You've got a woman running a work camp who is kind of forcing like manual labor. You have these things called Rippers, who are the crazy motherfuckers who have figured out that they can distill some kind of drug out of the freakers, the zombie things, to make them as high as a kite so they don't feel any pain, so they cut themselves up. So when you're shooting them, they just keep going because they're lunatics. Then you've got a guy called Copeland who's an absolute fucking nutcase. And you've got your girlfriend who mysteriously worked for an army research base, checking out all the botany in the area and all these kind of bits. They all kind of interweave and come together. And actually, I really enjoyed the hell out of it. There are technical issues in it, but they are trying to push stuff that they wouldn't normally do. So there's I'll give you example. There's a lumber mill, and in the lumber mill there's about 1,000 zombies. Oh, sorry, infected, not zombies. And it starts snowing. And one of the reasons, like, why did it start snowing? And the reason it starts snowing is it covers the zombies in snow so they don't have to render as much detail. So they kind of got away with that. It's like, oh, we don't have to render as much detail if they're covered in snow. It's like, that's a fucking great idea. Implement it now. And it is, and the amount of times that you'll be playing it, and you'll be like, kind of, I hear a noise, and then the music kicks in, and you turn around, and there's like 1,000 zombies just trundling past you, and you're like, I'm gonna have to be really quiet now. It's really, really good, and I really enjoyed the hell out of it. It's that for 20 quid. It's annoying because when they built it on the Unreal Engine rather than Sony's Decima engine, which if you've seen me play Death Stranding. Now, whatever you think of Death Stranding, visually it looks good. Looks really good, and that's the Decima engine, which does Horizon Zero Dawn, and it does another game which I can't remember. I think it does. It might have done Killzone Shadowfall and another one, and it looks really good. If they'd have had access to that Decima engine, I think that would have made a difference on it. I think Spider-Man might have been using the Decima engine. That's why it looks like it does. But it's a really good game, guys, and I really wish they'd turn it to a fucking TV show or something, because the story's far more fucking interesting in The Walking Dead. I think they literally watched The Walking Dead and they went, what did we want when this bit happened? Oh, to kill Negan like almost immediately and hunt down his crew and murder them and burn them. Yeah, we can do that. That was what it's like. There's a bit where they figure out that there's a dam near where they've got their encampment. So if you like Sanctuary, yeah, there's like a dam, and it's like kind of, well, if we blow the dam up, it'll flood the fuckers and kill them all. And it's like kind of, let's blow the dam up. So they blow the dam up, and now the dam's been blown up. Let's go down there and mop up what's fucking left, because these fuckers aren't coming back after this. And it's satisfying. It really is satisfying. And the bit where they catch up with the choppers, and the guy catches up with the chopper, and he talks to the guy in the chopper. There's a great twist which I predicted, and I phoned my brother up and I had a good chat with him. And the prediction was, I won't tell you what the prediction was because it kind of ruins the game because I got it right. And I made this prediction to him, and he was like, "Oh, no, that's not that." And then I was looking for a piece of music from the game because it plays this really cool kind of music cue when you do something good, and it's kind of cowboyish. It's really fantastic. And I was trying to find that, and then someone had a secret ending explained with a thumbnail that gave the fucking thing away. And I was like, when I saw that, I was like, I was right, because it's scary, because it's like they're evolving. Is the twist, because it's like in The Walking Dead, you could probably wait the zombies out to the decay, but these things aren't zombies; they're infected people, so they will starve to death. So the idea is that, hey, we can outweight them and starve to death, and then you find out that no, they started eating other things. So it's like, shit, well, that plan's gone out the fucking window. Sorry, I rambled there, but I've really fucking enjoyed this game. Really good.
Worth for 20 quid then?
Oh, for the 20 quid, yeah. Absolutely worth it for 20 quid. So, yes. Anyway, where were we now? Did you guys want to talk about, what was it, time?
Only because the world's slowest man has finally caught up.
Like, we can talk about it next week as my review.
Okay. All right, shall we go on to the what the fuck stories then?
Oh, hang on 1 minute. One comment. Martin says Keith's looking good.
To which I say,
I need somebody in my corner.
Have you got glaucoma, Martin? I'm just saying.
Such a git. Such a git.
If the shoe fits.
The shoe fits, kick Keith with it. That's what I want. The shoe fits, kick someone with it. That's what I want on a t-shirt. If the shoe fits,
thank you
kick
so much.
someone with it. Anywho, so
right,
where are we? So we're on the what the fuck story. So, given the fact that we're all what do you call it? Given the fact that we're all locked inside, we're having to do stuff. And then one of the reasons I've been wearing a cap is I'm in dire need of a haircut. And one of the first things I'm going to do with yeah, but you're not as bad as me. It's like it's terrible. I'm glad that I've got that bit of grass or leaf obscuring my face at the moment. Woman tries to give a dog a groom during lockdown, and it doesn't quite go the way she wants. So here's a picture of the really cute pooch. That is such a sweet dog. That looks like a teddy bear come to life.
That is a teddy bear.
That is so sweet. You want to go? Oh, that's so cuddly.
A Pomeranian. My wife can cut hair like that. I don't know how she does it.
Is that what you're going to get?
It's amazing.
Is that your hairstyle?
No, she generally. No, she wants to cut my hair. I won't let her. I won't let her go near my hair because I said you're a dog groomer, not a people groomer. But I've seen her cut a couple of Pomeranians, and she can do them like that. Even more teddy beary. In Thailand, they like them sort of more bunched out, and she's brilliant. Yes, Dave, they are a yapper. But she's brilliant at it, and she can get the perfect curve and everything. It's incredible how they do them.
Yeah, yeah, it is incredible. Anyway, so let's have a look at the results, shall we? That dog does not look fucking happy.
That dog looks like, what the fuck?
What did I do to you? What did I do wrong to you? I gave you love and attention, and I listened when you spoke, and you fed me, and then you did this to me, you bastard.
For those of you listening on the podcast, this is very visual. I'm sorry about that.
Oh yes, sorry, it is very visual. But yes, it's
everything that went wrong has gone wrong.
It looks like a rabbit. She managed to shave it and make it look like a fucking rabbit. A dog look like a rabbit.
Yeah. Oh my word. If you're listening on the podcast, you should really just search for us on YouTube, find the video, and you'll see us. See what we mean. Okay,
that's not the only cute dog story I got. The next cute dog story is dog steals false teeth and wears them perfectly, leaving owner in stitches. So this is, I don't know what that video is there. So we've got this dog here. Oh, doesn't it look cute?
Oh, you got to send me that one. I'm going to show my wife that one. Oh, that is amazing.
He's nicked those dog's teeth.
It looks like it looks genuine. Oh. It looks genuine. Oh my god! I can understand why the fucking owner was howling with laughter on that one.
Those two teeth look perfect.
Yes, they do. And on that note, I think we should thank the viewers for watching. If you've been watching on YouTube, give us a like. If you're watching on Facebook, give us a thumbs up or a laugh or whatever. I know Dave has given us one, Martin has given us one, Orlando has given us one, and James has given us a laugh on the feed. And thank you very much for that, guys. Really appreciate it.
Yes, thanks for the comments. Thanks for watching. Cheers, buddies.
Yes, cheers. And just look at that dog.
I think I will like to answer. Martin's just said, "Oh, look, you're going grey." I've been going grey for 20 fucking years, Martin. My wife come to me tonight. She goes, "Darling, I need you to go and buy some hair dye from the shop when you go to the shops tomorrow." It's like, what do you mean? She goes, "I got 2 white hairs, and it's really bad." I went, "Who the fuck are you complaining to? I've been going grey for 20 years."
And on that note,
20 bloody years. Anyway, yes.
I think it's time we said goodbye. So, bye from
Bye-bye.
me.
Yeah, it's bye for me.
Bye.
And we'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.
To follow us all on Facebook and
Facebook,
YouTube,
Twitter,
because then you get
YouTube.
notified when we go live next week.
Okay. See ya.
See you.
Adios, motherfuckers.
Bye.